Hi guys, EBPMAN here with Tablets for Me. And today we're going to take a look at a all-in-one video security system. And this system was brought to us by Guardzilla. Let's take a closer look at some of the features that you'll have with this specific security system. First of all, you do have a siren, and literally a built-in siren, so that if there is motion detected, the siren will actually sound. It also has multiple modes, including night mode, that's going to give you the ability to monitor any area within your home. And you could even point this outside through a window if you'd like. It also has a geofencing type of alarm, so it can pair with your phone, and depending on where your phone is, as soon as the phone leaves the proximity of where this device is, it can enable the alarm. So you don't have to configure it, you don't have to worry about quiet times, scheduling. It will create a certain amount of automation based on the relationship it has with your phone, which by the way could be an Android phone or an Apple phone. So each one will work. It is Wi-Fi based, and you can use this for monitoring remotely. So this is going to have a lot of, I would say, use cases. So you can use this to monitor your pets because it does include a microphone and it includes a speaker. So you can listen to and you can actually speak through it. I'd say you could potentially even use this as a baby monitor. So you could have this in your room, just monitoring what's going in the situation when your child is in that room. Now, a couple features we'll highlight again. You have no monthly service fee, so this is one of those solutions that's not going to require some cloud storage type subscription. So it competes well with when you think about the Dropcam, FastCam, Belkin. However, the price point for this solution is significantly less. So it's available in where you find all your big box retailers, the Best Buys, the Targets, the Walmarts. You can check those stores for this solution, and it hovers around $100. So it's very well priced for this market. It has, as you can see here, we covered some of the things here, but you could get some alerts that are pushed via email or text. It is smart enough to ignore some of the things that are going on. So it talks about that it's pet immune, so we'll see how that works a little bit later. It is Wi-Fi enabled, as we said, and it also has that motion detection capability. It's a wide angle lens with night vision capability, and it also has expandable memory, which you're seeing less and less of in the market because they want to charge you for the monthly subscription. You've seen me review the things to know about the Dropcam, and a lot of the functionality that you want, the high-end functionality, is only available if you subscribe. Now, it has multi-user support and also multi-unit capability, especially when you have multiple devices of this type in multiple places of your home. And it does have a nice app that we'll see when we do the review. Now, one thing to highlight are the specs, because this is something that most of you are always interested in. One thing that I will mention is that this is a VGA camera. This is not an HD camera. It's not a 1080p camera. It's not a 720p camera. It does support night vision viewing or night visibility up to 30 feet. And as you can see there, the siren is 100 decibel. The Wi-Fi that it will support are the standards that you see there, BG and N. And it does have a 1-year warranty. From an output perspective, you can see that the maximum volume that you're going to get out of this is 5 watts. So again, it's not a boom box, but it's not designed to do that. So in the box, as we do the unboxing, you'll find that you have the camera, the cord, which is very generous because you have a 6-foot cord, and a getting started guide. So we'll take a look at unboxing this and see more features of this solution. Now inside the box, you'll find a power cord, and this is a 6-foot power cord, so it's long enough for you to be able to place your camera wherever you'd like. A user guide, an instructional guide, and you'll notice there's not much to it, so this is going to be a real simple install, right? Not much there. And then a little sticker that you can put on your house, just notifying that you have your house protected by Guardzilla. Now, taking a closer look at the camera, you do have a removable lens or cover, and you'll notice here you have your camera, and your camera does have these LEDs that are going to help with night vision. In the front here, there will be a flashing LED that you can turn on or off that's going to indicate different modes for your camera. So you'll be able to see that once we plug that in. You have a microphone, and then on the back you have your speaker. You have here your reset button, so if you need to reset it, and then you have your power plug. You also have on this side right here, you have your micro SD card slot so that you can place something in there. You'll notice here that you have some of the specs about this product, serial number, user ID, and all the information that is pertinent to the model. And then you have these little rubber, this rubber foot. There is an extra rubber foot that's included in the packaging that in the event that that one comes off, you can replace it with the one that you have there. And pretty much that's all to it. It's made out of a very light plastic material. It is, again, the type of security camera that you can use, and it would be just on a desk, on a nightstand. It's not something that you could mount. However, I think you could probably mount this with some Velcro. If you wanted to put it on a wall or high up, there are ways that you could probably mount this if this is something that you want to do. But remember, you do have that power cord coming from the camera that needs to get connected to the camera and obviously to an electrical outlet. So to set up your security camera, there's two things you need to do. First thing I did is I plugged in the camera into a power source, and you'll notice that the LED is green and is lit. The next thing you'll need to do is, depending on your device, either an Android device or an Apple device, what you want to do is go to the marketplace and download the Guardzilla application. Once you've done it, now what we'll do is go through the setup process to establish a connection to the camera and set it up. Once you've installed the app on your phone, the next step is to go into the settings area, and you're going to be looking for a Wi-Fi that is called Guardzilla. So this is going to connect you to the actual camera itself. So I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to let it configure. So right now it's going through the process of establishing a connection, and that connection is going to be a direct connection to the camera itself. Once you have that camera connection established, you'll see the little check mark will show in its place, and we'll go through the next step, which is going to the app and establishing settings through the app. Now our next step is to choose first time setup. Since this is the first time that we've established or have a camera, we're going to agree to the terms and conditions. And now what we're going to do is select next to begin. Let's see. Here we have some credential information. So we have a 5-step process that we're going to go through. We're going to put in our email, password, and then we're going to go to the next step. Let me get that stuff established. Now that I've inputted my information, my contact information, password for the camera, I now need to name it. So I'm going to just call it security. I'll just call it that. Pretty basic. And I'm going to hit next. And now what it's going to do is ask me what Wi-Fi should the camera connect to. So I'm going to choose the Wi-Fi access point that I'm going to connect the camera to, and then go on to the next step. Once you've selected your Wi-Fi network, the next step is to input your password and hit next. We'll go ahead and confirm that. And now it's establishing the connection. So it's going to join now the router, or not in this case, not the router, the security camera with the network that I've connected it to. So you notice that the LED is flashing because it's doing configuration. And we'll just let it go through its process. It's probably going to take a couple minutes. As you can see there, it says it will take anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes for it to establish all the configuration necessary to work on my network. Now our LED is solid. We'll go ahead and look at the phone itself, and you'll notice that I have a big check mark telling me that everything has been configured and everything is ready to go. So we're going to hit next. I'm going to allow notifications to come into my phone, and it's asking me if I'd like to change my password now. So we'll go ahead and do that a little bit later. So I hit no, and giving me information that I've added this device. Do I want to add an additional device? The answer is no. And it looks like everything is set. So now what we're going to do is go through viewing the monitor, see what it views, and go through all these features so you can see what you get or what kind of capabilities you get with the Guardzilla system. So now let's take a look at the application itself. You have the ability to arm or disarm your alarm, and when you press it, it's going to count down, and as it's counting down, the phone is going to vibrate. It's going to vibrate all the way down to the countdown. You have the ability to monitor and have live views. So here the camera's on, and you can see I'm seeing the front of my desk and all the gadgets that are just there. And you have a record of the alarm being engaged and disabled. And you also have what's going on here with the speaker. And now you can hear me speaking with my echo. The microphone, so it can pick up what I'm saying. So I'm going to say allow. So if I go back to that monitor, and now if I tap it, I should be able to hear myself on the other side. And I could also take a photo. So if I want to take a snapshot, I can hit that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch audio input so that you can hear how loud it sounds on the speaker as I speak. So let's switch that for just 1 second. So what I'm going to do is just to give you some feedback so you can hear what's going on. I'm going to press the speaker. Hello, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're getting a little echo because of the fact that I'm in the same room, but you could hear pretty clearly. While it's a little tingy, it's still very clear, my voice. So this would work if you want to talk to a pet, or you have it in a room, you want to talk to your child or someone. Let's try now using it as a speaker. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. And once again, because I am in the same room, it's picking up some feedback, so you're not going to hear that echo when you use it. So the other feature you have is that you can actually take a picture, and the picture will be stored on your local camera. You can rotate your phone, and when you rotate your phone, you do have the ability to zoom in. So you can see I'm zooming in. And once again, this is not an HD camera, but still the quality of the camera is pretty good. You can see it's nice, clear, good color. It looks very vivid. And you can see at the top, you have some detail regarding the date, the time, and on the bottom, the name of the camera. I named this camera Security. Once I go back to its normal mode or normal view, it goes back to the same position. Now, taking a look at the next feature, you have an activity log, and the activity log is going to inform you of events, alarms being enabled, alarms being tripped, anything that's going on with the actual security system is going to come up here, and you also have the ability to clear it. You have a settings area, and this is going to give you the ability to determine how notifications are going to be sent out. Some of the siren settings, so how long do you want the siren to sound, and you notice you have them in increments of 5, 15, 30, 60, and 120. You have an auto alarm feature, and again, this is going to arm it when you leave, so it's really looking at the proximity, right? Your proximity. So when you're out of range, it's going to turn on. And then you have this other setting. So this is going to give you the ability of, what's your motion sensitivity. And this is where that pet immunity comes in. So notice right here it says the pet immunity modifies the motion detection function to allow your pet to pass through the camera without triggering it. So if you do have a dog, a cat, and you don't want this thing going off and sending you false alarms, you can enable that. But once again, you have different sensitivity settings that you can play with. Picture quality, you can have the quality go from anywhere from a medium to a max. Let's choose max. We're going to go back and let's see if we can notice any changes in the quality of the image. So I'm going to go back to live monitor, and I'm going to go back to this side, and I'll try zooming in. I don't see anything perceptible, but we're going to do another shot in a darker area, and we'll see if it makes any difference. So we have it, and I'm sure what's going to happen is when we look at these other settings and the quality of the camera or the picture quality, if you have something on max quality, as you see motion, it's probably going to stream with a stutter. So this is going to give you the ability to get the smoothest image you can. You do have the ability to add more cameras, change passwords, set arming delays. So you saw when you press the arming delay, it basically does 30 seconds. If that annoys you, which it does for me, you can change it to instant, which I will do, and now it will be instantaneous. You have the ability to set your time zones, and it's picking it based off of my phone, and you can make modifications if you like. And then you have a night vision capability, and you can set this auto or just turn it off. LED indicator. Some people like turning this off. I like leaving it on, unless you're using this as a nanny cam. I leave it on because I want people to know I have a security system, because I believe that I don't want to have a break-in. I want you to know I'm watching you. But you can turn it off if that's something that you like, because you're using it as a nanny cam. You have your Wi-Fi setup, so let's cancel out of that. You have network settings, and your network settings are going to talk about your IP address, primary DNS, all that good stuff, technical stuff. Camera details, firmware. You can also check if there's a firmware update. So we'll go ahead and do a check, and there are no updates available. And then pretty much those are all the major features. So let's put the camera now in a darker room setting and see how it works, and we'll try the panic option. You know what? Let's see. Let's try that out. So You know what? We could also try listening to the siren. So I'm going to switch audio sources so you can hear how loud the siren is. All right, let's go ahead and hear the siren. Wow, that was pretty loud. One thing I'll mention is that there is no quick way to turn off the siren once it goes off, and that is painful, but it does what it's supposed to do.
So the first thing I wanted to do is give you a sample of what a normal video shot would look like in the room. As you can tell, there's not a lot of lighting in the room. So what we'll do now is we'll switch over to the camera. So now let's take a look at how much light the camera actually is able to pull out of that dark room. So we're going to go into monitor. And as you saw by that earlier shot, it's a very dark room. It's not pitch black, but it's dark. It's not dark enough where the night vision camera has been kicked in, but you can see that it's doing a real nice job of bringing in the light that's seeping through the blinds. It's a VGA camera, but it's still doing a decent job. There's decent quality coming across. Remember, I have the low quality, so what we're going to do is we're going to switch it. Let's switch it to high quality again. Go back to that setting. So we'll go into settings, we'll go into other settings, picture quality, and make it max, go back. And this is going to also be dependent on the bandwidth of your network, right? The quality of your network. So we're going to let that catch up and want to see if I see any difference from a quality perspective. And I can't really tell that there's much difference. Once again, that setting may be more applicable to motion as we start seeing anybody walking in the area. So let's go have some movement and see how it looks when there's movement and how it streams. So here's the same room now, but in darkness. You can see my dog right there, but you can see how well the night vision is working. You can see the night vision LEDs lighting up or being reflected on the television. So now what I'm going to have is, before we do this, I'm going to arm my alarm. So we're going to arm it. So now it's armed. Then I'm going to go back into the monitor. And what we're going to do is have a phantom robber try to steal my television. So let's see how someone can come into motion, and then we should see an alarm. So notice, as soon as the phantom robber came into frame, the alarm went off. They tried to take the television, and now they have to run away because I am coming downstairs to get them from messing with my TV. So this includes my review, setup, and demonstration of the Guardzilla all-in-one security system. I think it's a great solution for those of you who are looking for a low-cost, reasonably priced solution that's going to give you a lot of flexibility in using a security system. It also is very easy to set up, and as you saw by the demonstration of the application that comes along with the Guardzilla solution, it's very easy to use. I want to thank Guardzilla for making this product available for us to review on this channel. I also want to thank you for watching, and if you have any comments or questions, please leave it on the channel. But as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.